Mm, that's another good question. That's a great. These are like questions that like you ask like your homie is in the circle. And
So I want to welcome everyone to the very first The Real Teal Show. I'm your host, Teals, and we're taking a deep dive into what people's thoughts are, what happens after life. And today I want to give a warm welcome to the 1v1 King, MK.
is that what they call me now? The 1v1 king?
I don't know, man. Where did that come from?
Came from I think in Rome, no, in Milan. They threw down a crown when I was just playing basketball. They threw down a crown from the top area. And then I just went like this, like this, like this, and I crowned myself. And then I felt like it was appropriate to just say one-on-one king from then on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well, thanks for having me on. This is cool. This is an interesting pod because it's just completely different. And that's what I like to do. I like to challenge myself, my brain, my ideas, everything. Especially with guys like you. It's going to be an interesting one. It's definitely different than what I'm used to doing in terms of podcasts.
Yeah, you know what? Most people, I guess, want to hear more about your basketball and stuff like that. But I want to hear about your rise to basketball and then, what your beliefs are, whether it be religious, spiritual. And yeah, we'll see where this conversation goes.
Yeah, that's perfect. That sounds great.
So, buddy, tell me how this road came. Like, you know, my understanding is you went to the States when you were 15, but you know what? Let you tell the story. You know, how you got into basketball and how you got into what you're doing now.
Ever since I was walking, like when I was a baby, just walk over and dunk on the little net. Like I always had a basketball in my hands, truthfully, and it's just because I just enjoyed it. It's my favorite thing to do. I played soccer, ran track and field, badminton, like anything you can think of, volleyball. I was all really good at those sports, but I just really enjoyed basketball. It's like just poetic, right?
Hmm.
So it's an art form. So I kept playing that onwards until high school. I left high school in Canada to go to an American high school. And when I went to the American high school, I realized like I was investing in myself and I was challenging myself. So I had to stick with basketball. And then from there, I realized that I could, save my parents from paying $100,000 a year for an American scholarship,
Yeah,
and get it myself through basketball. So I did that. Uh, then they supported me. So thankfully they supported me and they said do whatever you want to do. And I didn't go to school with it. I dropped out and I got a pro contract with it. I made some money from it. And then it brought me to here where I take the videos and I make even more money from it. And it's more fulfilling. I can do whatever I want, wherever I want around the globe and learn more things through basketball. So that's kind of how the basketball has treated me down this route.
got it. And did you ever think it was gonna go the way that it went?
Yes, I always had that in mind. I always knew that it was going to be different than what the regular would be. Like I knew there was that straight route where you go high school, prep school, Division 1, professional, and then like NBA when I say professional. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, mine's weird. Like mine is like this team to trying out for that team, and then Canadian high school that I wasn't supposed to go to, and then some random American high school where we sucked and then all of a sudden we were good and I ran track and field. Like my whole journey was like this, but I knew that every time I was going in those zigzags, everything was successful. And it was because I had, the spirit. I was working hard at it, was consistent, I was patient, and it was completely different route, but I knew like it was destined for greatness. And it would come to something like this where it's like one-on-one basketball is a new sport I'm creating, basically.
So out of this whole journey, what do you think influenced you the most?
What influenced me the most?
Person, thing, personal
Yeah,
drive? Did
I'd
you have
say
a
like
mentor?
I'd say just like knowing there's some kind of aura when it all boils down to the final point, like actually there's some kind of aura around me that's just like guiding me for real because there's some times in like American high school when I'm like 15 years old, and I don't know how the hell I didn't get arrested or like die or like I'm serious. Like there's stories
No,
that I
I
just
you
don't
know what?
tell anybody.
It's laughter of recognition, you know what I mean? Because in my life, I look back and I'm like, I should have died and again and again.
Yeah, like no, it's crazy. And like
Yeah,
the fact that I've gotten up here with this, I think it's like yeah, I obviously thank my parents. Like the huge role models kept me going, like my sister, my brothers, my friends, um, everyone along the way. But there's some kind of like invisible aura, God, angels, whoever's following me around, that's like blessing me with these opportunities. I think it's because I put out good in everything I do. Like nothing I do is evil, but
yeah,
a lot of that shit that I was doing is like, holy crap! Like, how am I safe? How did I make it? And it's because of that. That's what I would attribute it to.
yeah. Um, yeah, I met you back in May, and at the time you had like 350,000 followers on uh on Instagram. And I just looked today, just before we started the podcast, you're at like 1.9. You have like 2.9 on TikTok. Like, I don't know how many you got on YouTube, but like your following's over 5 million people total. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's going crazy. It's good.
And what do you think the catalyst was where that jump happened? Because all of a sudden it went from 350 and then it just went nuts. It went crazy. And is there anything that you can attribute that to?
I'd say like just consistency. Like I literally since March, I didn't stop posting. I posted once a day at least. And then like patience, right? Like I'm not gonna post a video and then expect it to do something. You can't do something and expect something. You gotta be patient. There's a natural process for these things. There's some sort of like algorithm process for these things.
Yeah.
But the main thing that you can control is you post it. So I posted, I stayed consistent, I made like a good product, something that people enjoy and that I enjoy, most importantly, because people can't enjoy something that you're putting out if you don't enjoy it, right? So I really enjoy what I do, and everyone else sees that.
Hmm. So let's go back to that aura that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Where do you think that belief comes from?
Like, where do I think that belief, like my belief, comes from, or
Yeah.
like who it actually is?
Well, well, it's going to be both, but let's first start where you first had an inkling of that aura.
Mm. Um,
Was it something that you read, that you familiarized yourself with, or was it something that somebody once said?
no, like I think like I developed like a really strong relationship with like with my grandparents, let's say. That's probably like one of the biggest ones. And like I said, every my path has been crazy all the way through. So for instance, I was born Greek Orthodox. I went to some like, just I guess it's the same thing, but like, more like regular like Christian churches and stuff like that are
Hmm.
not Greek Orthodox churches. I'd
Yeah.
go to those sometimes. And then like I ended up going to a Catholic school. And when I went to the Catholic high school, I started learning like really learning because you had to go to religion class and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Um, and then from there, like when I started reading the Bible, the Catholic at the Catholic school and taking classes on it and stuff like that, I started like getting like deeper into connection and such. So with people, with stories, with animals, with everything. And I kept hearing like spirits, spirits, spirits. And actually like studying it because you had to get a good grade. And I started realizing like connections within everything. And it actually just like made me develop a closer relationship with my grandparents. This is where I what I think was kind of guiding me, and it's just kind of like you grow your own personal belief off of these things. So then after that high school year, the second year, I was supposed to go to North Carolina, and I did for the prep school kind of season. And during that like time where I was making that transition and I was going hard, my grandfather was dying, and me and my grandfather probably had the closest connection out of everybody. And I think like just my belief in that connection and my like just putting it in me putting myself into that connection with him. Um, when I left, you know, he wished me the best, and within like a month of me being there, he died. I just had always liked to think that he was watching over me and there was some sort of aura of him and my grandma. And like that belief, I guess, just like, you know, I walked with it. And every bad situation I was in, every crazy situation I was in, I could name like insane stuff. Like I always felt like that they were there. So that's where I'd say the belief kind of started, and um, that's who I would think it was.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. And so in all of that, do you believe there's one true religion or no?
No, for me, it's very difficult to say that because I have the privilege of traveling around the world, learning about all of these religions, going within, like actually learning through the people, through the culture, through the places, through the landmarks, through the energies and everything. I have the privilege of doing that, and I get to learn about each, and I get to see where each person has a problem with each other one. So I wouldn't say for me personally, I can't say. I think there's a connect line of of all religions that live on that scale, and they have there. It's all about faith in each one.
Mhm.
I think it's very hard to pit them against each other.
Yeah. And if there's one specific religion that resonates with you the most, or is there one, first of all?
I mean, like I was born Greek Orthodox, so that's what I don't have to practice it, but I practice it naturally.
Yeah.
You know, I'll do my cross, like I'll do the Holy Communion and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I
Yeah.
understand. When God for me has His language, and that language is easier understood in Greek Orthodox. You know, so I would say that it resonates with me the most. But as I'm going to different countries and stuff like that, I'm able to resonate as I learn more about other religions and learn about more things within theirs. So I think faith in your religion shouldn't divide us.
Yeah.
If we're
I think that's very.
if especially if we're all trying to like figure out or go towards the same light.
Hmm. Like I'm looking at these the wars that are happening in the world right now, and I'm just like, they all seem to be religious wars, but if they really were, there, uh, I don't believe there really would be war. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like they're going against their belief. You know, there's some people that are all pointing to Islam, saying that, that's the cause of war, and that, they're supposed to kill the infidels and whatnot. But talking to other Muslims, which we're going to have on further episodes, it's kind of misconstrued as to what it's all about. Um, and I'm not saying it's the right or wrong religion, but at the end of the day, people shouldn't be killing each other.
I'm super
Um,
excited for you to have like a ton of unique and different guests on this podcast. It's going to be amazing.
yeah,
And
buddy.
I'm excited to be one of the first because it's like I get to actually like I said, indulge and be part of every single one of those cultures as I'm traveling around the world. And
Yeah,
I get
buddy.
to feel
At
that
any
energy.
time, if I have a guest and you're interested in talking to them, I'll have you on as an additional guest or co-host, whatever you want, buddy.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So it's the final question, not the final question of this podcast, but the most meaningful question that I want to ask everybody is, um, what do you think happens after life?
What do I think happens after life?
Yeah,
Shit, that's a good question. It's one of those deep
just chill
questions.
out, and nothing, or like, do we go somewhere? Are we still the same person? But
I
anyways,
haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it too much, honestly, because
yeah,
I'm a younger cat,
yeah,
25,
yeah,
25. So I'm still battling other things, which is a good thing. But I'd say like my initial thought would just be just from what I've been taught and what I think is you go to heaven, like simple. You go to heaven
Yeah.
or you go to hell. And I'd say like I just if your faith is strong, you're gonna go to heaven. And you're
Hmm.
doing good, you put in good, you get out good. And
Yeah.
I'd say it's straight to heaven. Those are the vibes.
And if you could make a picture of heaven, what do you think it's like there?
Mm, that's another good question. That's a great. These are like questions that like you ask like your homie is in the circle and you're just like,
Yeah,
yo,
buddy.
like what do you think heaven looks like? I think it's a whatever like it's literally a picture of whatever you think is like the best
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like the safest and
So
the
so
greatest.
so do you think everybody's heaven is different then?
Yeah, like I think it's all different within like that same reality of others.
Hmm.
So it's like
And
it
so
might look different, but it's the same kind of construct. It's good. It's safe. Feels good.
and and do you think people are still able to sin in heaven?
Um, that's another great question.
And again, this is
I think that would like go against I would kind of go against because like we're on Earth, right? And God knows that humans sin. That's why we pray for forgiveness and such.
of course.
When you go to heaven though, you're no longer on Earth. So it's like I don't think like sinning would be as appropriate if you're in heaven.
Hmm.
That's my personal take on it. Like if you're on Earth, there's a lot more there's a lot more temptation and stuff like that, evil and such. So it's very easy to sin as a human. When you go into heaven, are you no longer human? I don't know. I would argue that you're not. I would argue that you're some sort of like angel or something, right? You're dead. And you've gone to somewhere higher up. So I'd say I'd say like no, I don't think you should be sinning in heaven.
Yeah. See, like when I think of it in our in our world that we live in now, majority of people sin to get something out of it, right? They lie to protect themselves or protect others or get away with something, right? But if everything's in abundance in heaven, then I don't see any reason to do that, right? Um, so maybe that's why it may not just exist there, right? Because apparently, in my readings and learning and stuff like that, we we're given an opportunity here um to do whatever we want and we have free will and everything, but that free will does expand into heaven, and I don't know if that's true or not, because even angels and demons, they all have free will, and that's something that God gave us, right?
True.
And in heaven, you know, because everything's in abundance, you don't need anything. You don't need a fancy car.
That's what I would think as well. There's no reason to have to feel like you have to sin
Yeah,
or
yeah.
to sin at all.
So um in your quest, you know, that you're on, what do you want to see? Like, what do you want for your end game? Where are you heading with everything that you're doing?
Um, I think I think like creating those systems, just having systems ready, in terms of like, one-on-one basketball, turning that into its own entity in sport. That's something that I'm working very hard on. The ability to create beyond that, movies, TV shows, um, music, anything that involves creation, that inspires others, that brings together people, um, that can be appreciated as an art form. That's stuff that I like to do. It's just kind of like whatever I like to do or whatever I find interesting that is for good and that brings people together and that's exciting. That's what I plan to do. And I just plan to do them systematically, like one-on-one league. Okay, like movie producer,
Yeah,
um, you know, actor, like I just all those like umbrellas that I can find that I want to do, I'll get them done. And it could be the most random thing. Like it could be, I don't know, could be like making my own wine eventually when I'm older. Like I have ambition and I like abundance, but there's no like set ultimate goal besides like just like fulfilling the life and
Mhm.
bringing people together, connecting others.
So do you have a legacy that you want to leave? Like, is there a message you want to leave to the rest of the world?
Of course, I
Like,
think like I think that's gonna come to I think it's gonna come to life how it's supposed to. Like I can write it down all I want and I am writing it down. Like we have books being created. I create books, I write and I create every day just like videos and as I said, executive producing movies and stuff. If I want to put a message in there, my message will be heard upon millions and millions of people. But when it comes to an actual legacy, it's like those one-liners and what I want to leave behind. I think that's gonna just like it's gonna write itself, and it's gonna be something really powerful that I've yet to even find out. I'm excited to see what it is, and I know it's gonna be positive and good. But if I was to write it down or say it right now, I think it would be limiting.
hmm so for those of you who are listening and watching, first day I met Matt, we went for breakfast, and it turned into and this is my point of view, Matt interviewing me, and he pulls out this book, and everything I'm saying, he's writing it down, and I'm just like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Like I had no idea what I was getting myself into because who I see playing basketball, um, and who I met in person were almost two different beasts. And at the end of your game, whenever you finish playing somebody, I think is when you come back to who you are. Like because
True.
I see it at the end of your you know, your games as soon as you know all the trash talking's done, you're like, good game, man, appreciate you, all that stuff, right? Um, so yeah, where do you think that those two different people come from? Is it uh your way of playing to you know, throw people off their game, or is that who you need to be to win? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, like, I just like to flip the script. Like, people expect something, and when you expect something, I'll give you that, whatever it is. So it's like if you expect me to be trash talking, I'll do it in a way that you didn't expect. To just flip the script. You just like flip the book. It's
Yeah.
something different. When I met you, I'm writing in my book and stuff like that. That's what I always do with someone, right? And a lot of
Mhm.
people always say that. Like I'll be in a meeting with big business executives, like huge people, like sharks, and they're just like, man, I've never met anyone that's like flipped the script on me. That's like the common phrase I actually get. They
Yeah.
think it's just like basketball. But on the basketball court, it's the same thing. Whatever energy you give me, I'm going to give back. And usually it involves some sort of competition. I like to compete. And it could be in a conversation, it could be in this podcast right now, you and I competing. It could be in a basketball game, it could be anything. I like to compete, and that's where the intensity comes from. That's where the trash talk comes from. That's where all that comes from. When I'm saying good game and it's respect at the end of the game, that's flipping the script. Okay, this guy's was being a total jackass on the court, but now he's saying respect. Well, it's like, okay, well, we got to flip the page now and understand that what it was a good match. When we were playing, it was competition. We flip the script, it's done, it's respect. Okay, we were in a meeting. What are we doing? I'm learning about you, so I'm writing it down. It's just like literal, it's just everything's literal for me,
Yeah.
right? Everything's literal, and I really just indulge in my moment. And
hmm
whatever moment I'm presented, I really just give it my all. If I'm in this pod, I'm 100% in. If I'm playing basketball, I'm 100% in.
Yeah. So there's a saying of two sides of the same coin, right? The coin is you. On the one side is the competitor, and the other
Yeah,
side is, you know, um, the different side. You know what I mean? Uh, the emotional, the thoughtful, um, all that stuff, right? But at the end of the day, it's all you. But yeah.
yeah. I'd say just like I give like that coin is it. It's 100%. Like, and my coin's got like five sides. My coin just more sides. I don't know. Mine just like
More
changes.
like
I
a
just
dice.
give. Yeah. I'm like a dice. That's like perfect one. Yeah. I'm that. But I really just give like 100%. Like I'm just there. I'm present and I'm enjoying it and I embrace it, whatever it is. It could be the craziest moment, it could be the most calm moment. Um, I really just give my 100% when I show up somewhere. And that's why people either love or hate me so much. And I take that as a compliment.
It's something I heard. There is no bad publicity. You can change a script
No,
anytime. You know what I mean?
no, there's no such thing as bad publicity, especially and not a lot of people will understand that because they're trying to be someone they're not.
Yeah,
For me, for a lot of real ones, there's no such thing as bad publicity if you're just being yourself. Like you don't have to worry. Like I can just say whatever I want to say. There's no such thing as bad publicity because I'm being myself. If you don't like it, then fuck, I'm sorry. That's just how I am.
that's it, man. That's it. You know. Um, it's funny I brought up the word dice because then that just made me think about your connection with numbers. Tell me about that.
Yeah, man. I mean, a lot of people like take this numerology to like a next level. Like I've seen a lot of people in podcasts, they're using like numbers to predict the future and predict what's going to happen right now in this second. Oh, there's 27 minutes of recording. That means that like it's kind of for me that's kind of crazy and you can kind of just lose yourself within numbers, but there's a reason that numbers exist, right? There's a reason why numbers are the same. It's a universal, true universal language that everyone else understands. Every country, every language will understand. For me, there's a significance in that. For me, dropping out of school, I like to learn about everything. So one of them is numbers. What number do I have on the back of my jersey? Why is that important? Why do I feel like I play better with a certain number on the back of my jersey? Why a lot of people wonder why they see like a different time, the same time on the clock every single day. They're like,
Yeah.
why is it 2:22 all the time? Why is it 11:11? Some people think it's like, God numbers, like spirit numbers, all that stuff. Uh, for me, I just urge anyone seeing that or interested in numbers or understanding that there is an importance and learn it how you want to learn it, right? So for me, I just think that, it's like a language. It's as simple as that. When I went to Brazil, I had to learn Portuguese. I learned Portuguese, and there's something very important about learning Portuguese, connecting with others. Learning about numbers when they show up in my life, when I learn about it, it's very important to me and it guides me the same way as a normal language would. Simple as that.
And how did you get into these numbers? How did you just stumble on them? Someone brought it up, or you just started researching just because?
Well, I mean, like I've always been like, it's just growing up, like just infatuated by numbers. Like the number is number 10. I always loved wearing number 10. I would always like really care about what number was on the back of my jersey. I'm like, why do I care about it so much? Like there must be a reason why I care about numbers so much.
Hmm.
There must be a reason why I care like what time I'm going to practice. Like, but I'm not just like what time I'm going to practice. Like I'm just a weird detailed guy. Like, why am I going to practice at this time? Right? And I'm like, well, what does this number mean? I'm just detailed. I like knowing more. I like understanding more. And then like there would be weird things where I'd be like, well, I'd tell someone, hey, I'm pulling up at like into the call at like 8:53. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, why are you pulling up at 8:53? I'm like, yeah, I'll be in the call. Actually, no, I'll be in the call at 8:57. And like I give them an odd number,
Yeah.
right? And they're just like, what the hell? So I start researching like why does that throw people off? What is significant about an odd number? Because typically if I said I'll be there at 8:55, would you be more comfortable if I said 8:55 or just like 8:50?
Yeah,
Is that
it's weird. Like the most common ones are, the let's say 1 o'clock, 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, right?
simple?
And then some of them, they get broken into 110, 120, and move up that way. But as soon as you throw off an odd number, 157, it's like, why that number specific? Like, why? Why
Yeah.
isn't it
And
like,
then someone focuses up more all of a sudden and you get their attention, right? But then I go deeper into I'm like, well, why? Why is it different? Why is it that? So I think like partly always been curious and knowing more. I'd say like I've seen some stuff on the internet where it's like, well, you should study numbers. Kind of just like threw it away because it's BS in my opinion. Like some of the stuff they're saying, it's just too much. I can't really get into it. And then you have like things come naturally your way, whereas like someone would tell me like I remember I met this guy in Greece, Greek Greek taxi driver, and he's just like, yo, like there's numbers everywhere. Like you gotta see this number, like this number right here means this. So then I'm like, okay, he says that this number means this. Why don't I figure out what my favorite numbers mean? And then you just kind of do research from there and you understand that there's meaning to more numbers and you just learn. If you like doing that, you like doing that. And that's something I find very interesting.
You feel like that taxi driver was put in front of you, so you pay more attention to numbers, or what?
I think that for sure. I think like, uh, all of it, bro. All of it. Like even what like me being obsessed with numbers and putting them on my jersey since I was young. I think that's like a huge thing. That's another huge thing. There's a reason for everything.
So is your favorite jersey number 33?
I think one of my favorite numbers is 33. My favorite number originally was 10 and it was inspired by Ronaldinho. It was my favorite soccer player. I emulate his style when I play my basketball, and when I played soccer, I would do that flaunty, crazy, flashy
Yeah.
kind of style of basketball of soccer, but now basketball. But I think my favorite number now would probably be like 33. I like 33 a lot. 33 is it's called like if you actually look into it, it's the master teacher number. Jesus died at 33. Um, I think it's a special number. I just like it. Scottie Pippen's number 33.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. Um,
I was like, sure. Yeah. We
three
just
plus
all
three
go one.
three plus three is six. I'm from the six. I just love playing with numbers, man. And 33 is like a Larry Bird is 33.
Yeah.
That's another good number. But you just find like little intricacies and connections to numbers, and it can mean so much to you. And I always ask someone, like, why do you ask someone their favorite color? I don't know, you just like to learn about them. It says a lot about you, right?
Yeah.
So why can't someone's favorite number say more about them than just the fact that that's their favorite number?
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that's why you asked me what my favorite number was.
Yeah, what's your favorite number?
It was well, the same answer as I answered last time is it's one because everything starts.
Yeah, that's a good number. That's a badass number.
It's just it's always been with me, and that rolls off the tongue very easily. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah.
just like this is the first podcast. Everything starts with one, buddy. You know.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a solid number. And if you go deep in that number and you study that number, you'll understand that like 1 and 33 and like and you have like ChatGPT now, or like you have to go on Google and search it up, or you can like actually find books about numbers. It'll tell you a lot about like numerology and what numbers mean and stuff like that. And some of those numbers they're important numbers.
And so we could go on about numbers forever, but I wanted to move on to something else.
Tell me.
Um, you talked about looking back on life, and you talked about thinking that you should have died a couple times or whatever. Was there any actual time that you would look back and you go, man, like I was scared in that moment, like you had a
Yeah,
fear
like
about
in terms of death or in terms of like arrest.
in terms of death?
In terms of death, mm,
Was there any times you're like, damn, this is scary now?
I think like the one time I had like with my heart, it was pretty recent. I was just like not, I was just drinking way too much coffee and energy drinks a day, and then like not sleeping, and then just really bad habits and stuff like that. I think that was probably when then my heart started getting messed up. I was like, I went to the hospital and the troponin levels were like 44, and then like went down the second day to like 33. No pun intended. Like it's actually 44 and 33. And I was like, yo, like this is pretty scary because I feel like I could be dying.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there is a chance of dying, and I felt like I couldn't control that I might die. That
Mm.
was like probably the one time I was scared, like genuinely like scared, like I can't control this moment.
So for those listening and watching, um, what do the troponin levels mean? Those high troponin levels?
High troponin levels, I honestly like don't know too much or understand it too much besides the fact that like a normal troponin level should be like I think like 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's okay if it's a little bit higher, but if it's abnormally high, it means that you're like really affecting your heart. You're like hurting your heart. You're bruising your heart very badly. And the higher up, the worse it is, and that can trigger some sort of heart attack.
Yeah, my understanding is that they use those levels to basically inspect if you did have a heart attack or not, right? And
Yes,
the higher they
yes,
are, the more likely that you did.
yeah.
But I could be wrong. Um,
Yeah, it was shown that I didn't have a heart attack, thankfully.
yeah.
But the heart was like was getting messed up by my activities
Mm.
to the point where it felt like in my body, and it showed in the troponin levels as though it was I was having a heart attack.
And how did that instant change your life? Did it have an
I
effect
think
on
like
you?
pardon me?
Did it have an effect on your life?
Yeah, I think like everything's a lesson, right? I think I wrote in my book like while I was there, like while I was like feeling like shit. And I wasn't like a shitty feeling. It was like, yo, I'm about to die right now. So I just got to write something down before I'm out later. And I was just like, with God, simple. Like God is always going to be there in your worst and best times. Like there's no one more you can thank. There's no one higher you can thank,
Yeah.
or there's no one higher you can like you're about to have a heart attack. You can't be like, yo, mom save me, because or like doctor save me. There's something more always. So like that was the main thing. It was like God, let's go, please, like come on.
Mm.
um but then after that, it was like, yo, just a healthier lifestyle. And I really adopted a healthier lifestyle. And it wasn't that hard. It's just like, don't drink too many damn energy drinks and like stop drinking 6 coffees a day and start sleeping a little bit more. And I think like when you when you face something like that, you don't get scared of the idea of it, of death as
Mm.
much anymore.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's honestly my as my faith increases, my fear of passing decreases. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
if there is something more, then then I'm gonna get out of this and go to that better place, right?
I think people are too obsessed with the idea of like control. Like when
Mhm.
you try to control the narrative or the faith, or like I was like trying to control it too much, and it was like you can't control it. And then when you have faith, you kind of put it in faith's hand, like God's hands,
Yeah.
and he'll take care of it rather than you having to control the situation. Control is just stress, right? There's a higher power that can just take that off of you, and that's meant to take that stress off of you. And
Yeah.
when I mean stress, I mean like thinking you're gonna die or something like that.
Yeah, like for me, I believe a true believer doesn't get stressed. They put it in God's
Yeah, no, a
hands.
hundred percent,
You know what I mean?
a
Knowing that
hundred percent,
he's got your back, it just, it makes you chill, right?
absolutely.
And um y your experience with the hospital and all that, do you think that was someone trying to give you a sign?
Yeah, I think it was like stop treating your body like trash. Like
And
quite simply.
when you got those troponin levels, did you put meaning to the numbers and what those specific numbers mean or no?
Yeah, like that's all you have in the moment. Like that's all you got. Like I'm like fucked. I'm like holy shit. Like give me some sort of sign that's gonna be good. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, well, the troponin level's 44. That's one of my other, I like the double numbers.
Yeah.
I like 11, 22, 33, 44, and so on. So I saw it 44. I'm like, shit, 44, that's a good number, huh, doctor? And the doctor's like, no, have you been doing cocaine? And I'm like, no, I've never done cocaine in my life. And he's like, well, 44 is a lot higher than what the normal troponin level is supposed to be. So he's like, you don't have a heart attack. Stop doing this bullshit. I was like, okay. And then the next day I came back to the hospital because I was still feeling like trash. And the troponin levels were 33. I'm like, okay, that's got to be good. Like, but it was going down, and 33 is one of my favorite numbers. So I was like, okay, it's better. I'm relaxing, I'm resting. I just learned that, like, one of the main lessons was you just gotta, like, gotta rest, you gotta recover, but you gotta enjoy. Like, enjoying is resting and recovering.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Enjoy, like, you have to enjoy. You have to, if you take those, split those two words apart, it's like joy. One of those words is joy. You just gotta have fun and enjoy yourself, rest, recover, relax. And that's something I wasn't doing because I was enjoying only the work and the hustle and the grind too much. I
Yeah.
forgot about the other part of enjoying life, which is actually resting, recovering, enjoying with friends and family.
Yeah, I totally get that. Like, a lot of times my wife's like, "Why can't you just go to bed?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm too excited to be awake." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I go to
yeah, yeah,
sleep,
yeah.
nothing's happening there. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah,
I totally get
absolutely.
it. I totally get it. So, on this topic, is there anything you want people to know at home? Anything that you want to say to them?
On the topic that we're on right now,
Yeah. How about life?
um,
Life after death?
yeah, I think like
If you could leave a message,
true,
you know?
yeah, truly, like, you probably heard it, and I don't mean to sound cliche, but God gives the toughest battles to the toughest soldiers, and it's kind of just like that's what's meant to be. Like, he didn't give it to you because you can't handle it. Gave it to you because you can handle it, and you're supposed to handle it that way. And like, if you're not religious watching this, that's fine. There's still a reason why you have what you have. So like, if you give like my instance, for example, is like, okay, if you look at it from a religious standpoint, it's like, gave me that, like, that happened for a reason, and I learned my lesson. But if you look at it from a legit standpoint, if I didn't believe in any God or anything like that, it's just like, well, that happened for, it's the same thing. It happened for a reason. You can guide yourself the exact same way, right?
Yeah.
So I think like that's the message, is like things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't ignore that.
They do. I even hear people say, why does God let bad things happen to good people? Um, and my answer is I don't know why, but he does. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you don't know what's gonna come out of that bad thing, right? Like the people that it happens to, it could be detrimental, and they could be victims to that circumstance, or they can rise above it and be a cause in the matter of trying to do things where that kind of stuff won't happen again. Kind of like, mothers against drunk driving. Well, some mother lost someone and they created this whole thing out of it, right? Well, why did that person die? Well, it's so that mother could create this thing to try and prevent this stuff from happening again, right? Um, but yeah, like I don't believe in accidents. Um,
Nah,
I think there's a reason for everything.
absolutely. And that's like kind of like that's the message that I would give probably. I think that's the, it's not like, I don't want to be too cliche, but that's actually
No, no, no.
truly what I think.
There's no cliche. There's no right or wrong answer. This is your opinion. You get to have it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you, Matt. Um, I think I'm all wrapped up with these questions here.
Yeah, you got all your questions off?
Yeah, man.
All right, I got about 10 questions for you now.
Yeah, buddy,
I
go
got
ahead.
them written here in this book. No, I'm just joking. I don't have any. I
Oh man, I wouldn't have doubted it if you did though.
would you ever play me in a one-on-one?
I'm going to on my 50th birthday. I'm
Hey,
gonna dunk on your head.
I like that.
I already started
I
my
like
training.
that. I like that. Yeah, you guys got a good podcast.
I've been watching the video.
What kind of other guests do you have planned to be on here?
I do have an atheist that wants to come on.
Nice. Are you gonna battle them?
I'm not gonna battle, no, because well, you resist persists.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
So, so are you gonna like what kind of conversation? I mean, I guess I gotta wait and see, but I'm excited to see that conversation.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a good one.
That's gonna be a really good one.
Yeah.
You gotta get those type of guests that challenge you. You and me are too good of friends. You and me are
Hey, buddy, I'm
too
open to
much good
challenge you. You
vibes.
know what I mean? And honestly, the best way to
You can't
challenge.
challenge someone. You can't challenge someone who's always gonna win, aka me. So with these guys, I think or the girls, whoever you have on the pod, I think you'll win. You'll win. You're that guy. But it's hard to challenge someone that you can't beat.
Yeah, dude, you don't know the game of I win, do you? On my 50th birthday, I'm gonna be an old man dunking on your head, pulling out twos out of nowhere.
You can envision that.
Freaking
It's a
right.
nice like it's you can envision that. That's good. That's like just something you can dream of.
Yeah, you know
But
what?
in reality, it won't happen.
I got this dream. I got these 8 guys coming, and they're gonna tie you up, put you on a chair underneath the net, and you're done.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. That might work.
It can happen. It can happen. But
Thanks for having me on though. It was great questions.
yeah, man, thank you. I do want to thank you for being so gracious with your time. You know how I feel about time, and it's the most limited, valuable resource we have. So thank you. I do appreciate you, and I look forward to having you on here again.
Yes, sir. I am excited to.
Yeah.
Thank you again. Cheers.
Cheers.